When She-Hulk first debuted on Disney Plus, it did so to pretty low ratings for MCU shows. The only thing that She-Hulk outdrew in terms of its premiere was Ms. Marvel, which was the worst premiere that they saw on Disney Plus for the MCU. And now that the Nielsen ratings have actually come out, for the first time, a show that comes out on Disney Plus from Marvel or from Star Wars did not debut in the top 10. And I think there's a good reason for that, because She-Hulk is simply one of the worst things on television. That's pretty much indisputable at this point. The only thing that's probably worse than it is Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime Video. But one of the things that was teased in the most recent episodes is one of the things that had anyone interested in this in the first place. And that, of course, was this reveal for Daredevil. Let's play this for a second here. And you don't even really need to hear anything. But you can see that they showed the new Daredevil helmet, the yellow helmet, because he's going to have his yellow and red suit like we saw in the trailer for She-Hulk. And one of the things that I think is more pathetic than anything else is the amount of cameos that this show is consistently relying upon, because they knew that this show was garbage. It had to undergo a bunch of reshoots because of how trash it was. And they're trying to draw people in just with the idea of Daredevil appearing. But if you are a fan of Charlie Cox as Daredevil, if you are a fan of this character that people got to see on Netflix, that people love, that people demanded back, that people wanted back, I have some bad news for you, because the character that's going to appear in She-Hulk is not Daredevil. Shockingly, it's not going to be the character you're used to, and Charlie Cox even explained that.
What was really fun about being in She-Hulk for this one episode is that obviously the tone of that show is radically different. And in order for my character to really, to be appropriate for me to be in that show, I had to adapt a little bit my Matt Murdock.
So I will translate that. In order for me to appear in this cringe, disastrous, unfunny piece of shit, like in order for me to appear in this, I had to completely change the character. So it's not going to be Daredevil that appears in this show. It's going to be a different character. Sweet. Can't wait. MCU Daredevil debut.
So that he was in a place in his life where he's having fun and his, life is good, and he's a bit cheeky and a bit, flirty, and it's just tonally slightly different. And it was a bit of an experiment, but it was really enjoyable, and I really had a good time. And the chemistry I had with Tatiana was amazing. And so if they do lighten the tone a little bit, I'm not afraid of that.
So this is in discussions when they're talking about his upcoming Daredevil series, when they're talking about lightening the tone, when they're talking about making it not the Daredevil that people wanted. The fucking reason that people have been asking for Charlie Cox back as Matt Murdock, the reason they've been asking for this Daredevil back is because of how he was depicted. It's because of how fucking dark that series was. It's because they want that character that we saw on the Netflix TV series. But of course, that's not what Marvel's going to give you. Not just in the She-Hulk series, but as he's already hinting towards, it's not going to be in his standalone series either. Because this is what Marvel does. They take these characters and they try to make it, for some reason, even though something already has mass appeal, they try to change every character into somebody who's constantly joking, constantly messing around, because they think every character needs to be like Tony Stark or something. I don't know. They want to change everything into Guardians of the Galaxy. And probably the biggest criticism with She-Hulk, with everything they've done in this show, the biggest criticism is it's not even funny. That's the biggest problem with this comedy, is that it's not funny. But if you had any hope, if you were excited to see Daredevil and She-Hulk, just know that it's not even going to be that character. That they've had to change the character so that he can appear in this series. Typical for Marvel and what we've come to expect from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.